that story won't quite have made the papers, but
I wish.
It's a shame, isn't it? Maybe a picture tomorrow. But the press is actually focusing on a rather more serious situation in Syria, particularly what's going on in Homs. And we have, in fact, received word just now that tanks are storming the neighbourhood in Homs. That's from activists there. So events very much continuing. But you've been taking a look at what the Arabic press is saying.
That's right. We're going to start by looking at Asharq Al-Awsat, which is a pan-Arabic daily that's based in London, so a little more independent, say. Mm-hmm. And it has an article that's called Bloodbath in Homs. And it says that for weeks there has been this constant bombing using very heavy artillery, so in line with what you were just saying. According to the article, even mosques have been bombed. Now, the article chooses its words very carefully because it's unclear exactly who's shooting at who, but according to the article, when it says that when it claims that it's the Syrian government troops, it says according to witnesses and everything. And there's an interesting point in the article where it says that anti-government activists in Homs have been calling on their counterparts in other parts of the country like Hama and Aleppo to take to the streets there to draw attention away from them in Homs. And we're going to take a look at the other side of things, El Watan, which is the official Syrian government daily, and it's the complete mirror image of what we're hearing here in the West. And it says that it's armed terrorist groups that are fighting in Homs. Now, it's a very long article that goes into detail of what it calls these terrorist operations, and includes suicide attacks, according to this article, attacks on universities, hospitals, and killing children.
Okay, so but a lot of papers are also focusing on the diplomatic side of things, following that veto by Russia and China at the Security Council.
Yes, we're going to look at a cartoon actually in The Independent, which I think points out what a lot of people are thinking right now after that double veto. You see there Barack Obama, David Cameron, Nicolas Sarkozy, so the Security Council, and King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia, and they're all sitting on their hands while Bashar al-Assad is raising his bloody fists defiantly. Now, a lot of people have believed that the international community is somewhat confused as to what to do now. Hillary Clinton even said that the Security Council was neutered after that double veto. And China and Russia have been drawing, obviously, a lot of criticism. So I thought there was an interesting article in The Guardian where Liu Xiaoming, who's the Chinese ambassador to the UK, tries to explain why China voted no. Now, according to the article, our veto at the UN draft resolution on Syria reflects a desire to calm, not inflame the situation. Now, according to Liu, China voted no because this draft resolution was a harsh, kind of a rash decision. It was kind of a knee-jerk reaction. And basically, according to him, it wouldn't have calmed the situation down at all. It would have complicated the crisis. So essentially what he's saying is that it was too quick. And he does point out, though, that China is for a political solution so long as Syria's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity are respected. And he says that we have to give peace a chance in Syria.
Okay, interesting that China's feeling the need to get its point of view out there. But moving on to another story, the Maldives, not somewhere that hits the headlines very often, I have to say, but the deposed president there, he's facing arrest now, and he's actually holed up in his home in the capital, Male, at the moment. And he's written quite an interesting piece in the International Herald Tribune.
Absolutely. His name is Mohammed Nasheed. We've been hearing a lot about him recently, and he's written a piece called The Dregs of Dictatorship. Now, it's important to point out that he was the first democratically elected president in 2008, and he's written an interesting piece where he's actually warning countries in the Arab world that have gone through a democracy revolution recently. He says that dictatorships don't always die when the dictator leaves office. So a bit of a warning there.
Okay, and that seems to be a warning to people in Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, Yemen. But finally, staying with the International Herald Tribune, they've been taking a closer look at what it means to be an internet celebrity.
Absolutely. If you're a fan of YouTube videos, you might have seen this one, which is called "Charlie Bit My Finger," and it's been seen by millions of people. It's had 416 million views on YouTube. There it is. And basically, the International Herald Tribune kind of goes back and finds this family. They've had perks. They've had a little bit of a financial success, but they've also drawn some criticism for putting their kids in the spotlight like that.
Yeah, indeed. I think if you go to the website, to the video now on YouTube, there's all kinds of debate going on underneath about whether it was fair to put Charlie in the spotlight like that. But he certainly is very cute. Thanks very much indeed, Florence, for that look at today's international papers. Time for a reminder now of all today's top headlines here on France 24. We're just here